4 long years, Special Counsel John Durham finally released his report exonerating President Trump of the Russia collusion hoax. However, some argue that the investigation did not go far enough. This intelligence expert writing for the Gateway Pundit said the report totally ignores the role that the intelligence operatives from the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, and Israel played in helping set the stage to provide the FBI with a pretext of predication for launching its now discredited Crossfire hurricane investigation. Judge Andrew Napolitano pointing out on my radio show that Durham waited 4 years so that the statute of limitations ran out for the deep state violators, so that no jail time would be suffered by those who committed offenses. Many people forget, but the intel agencies initially pointed to a meeting between former Trump advisor George Papadopoulos and an Australian diplomat as the reason for launching their falsely predicated probe. But according to Durham's report, there was nothing about the meeting that justified any investigation at all. Joining me now is former Trump 2016 foreign policy advisor and Newsmax contributor George Papadopoulos, along with spokesperson for President Trump, Liz Harrington. Hey, guys, glad to see you. George, you first. Your name is mentioned, a mere 300 times in the Durham report. Give me the good, bad, and ugly on your impression of the Durham report.
Well, thanks a lot for having me, Chris. First, I would say the good. The good is that Durham finally laid out the roadmap into the conspiracy between the United States intelligence agencies, the media, and the Clinton campaign to essentially frame the Trump campaign. He did this in his report, and he also laid it out in federal court in the 2 cases against Sussman and Danchenko. Of course, the second very obvious positive news that came out of the report is that he established that there was never any foundation or basis to launch this now discredited investigation. Now, the ugly is that he did not recommend prosecutions. The individuals who put the country through this entire saga for 4 years are now going on national television. They've been getting book contracts, television contracts. They're mocking the report. And this is something that's a finger in the eye of the American people. So that's something that I think Congress has to address when they bring him to testify, to find out exactly why he decided to punt on the key players while looking after the little fish like Sussman and Danchenko.
That's a fair point. And I said that day one when this thing dropped. I said, where's the accountability? Liz, the report revealed that Obama and Biden signed off on Operation Crossfire Hurricane after the treatment that President Trump suffered at the hands of Democrats. Shouldn't Republicans subpoena Obama and Biden to testify in front of the American people in this regard?
Well, absolutely, Chris. And this is the problem. There's been zero accountability. We don't want a report. We want real action. We want a cleaning of house that only Donald J. Trump will bring when he returns to the White House. And people like George, innocent people, are just collateral damage in what was always a designed get Trump operation. They were spying on his campaign. They were throwing confidential informants at him. They were trying to entrap him. And the amazing thing is they never had anything. They had to make it up. But the most damning thing to come out of all of this is that it continues. We have election interference going on right now with a corrupt DOJ, with the same people, like you mentioned, that are running these corrupt operations, coordinating with the district attorney in Manhattan, setting up a sham, the show trial to end all show trials, right smack dab in the middle of primary season next year. This must end, and only Donald J. Trump is the man that will end it.
George, back to you. According to an unsealed filing in the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, that's FISA, and it's supposed to be foreign, but guess what? We're talking about Americans here. The FBI improperly used warrantless searches on American citizens over 278,000 times in 2021. Reports like this, alongside damning testimony from whistleblowers, tell me the Department of Injustice, the FBI, they are, as one informant put it, rotten to the core. Isn't that a fair analysis?
Well, Chris, certainly, and this is the consequence of not holding these people accountable. When you didn't hold them accountable in 2016, we later found out that the CIA was willfully interfering and colluding with big tech in the 2020 election to suppress the Hunter Biden laptop story and to basically let the American public think that that was Russian disinformation. So that was a consequence of that. And of course, now when you are holding them accountable for their egregious misconduct regarding the FISA court, in which they used fabricated evidence to defraud a FISA court to get a FISA warrant against an American citizen to spy on a Trump campaign. Now look exactly what they're doing in 2021. So this is a disturbing trend that will only continue unless Congress acts, and that means defunding this organization until there are systemic changes and or leadership changes at the top. This has to happen.
Right on. Right on, right on. Liz, he took me right where I wanted to go. Congressman Jim Jordan is calling on his GOP colleagues to use their constitutional powers to crack down on the FBI. He said, quote, "We have to exercise our authority, the power to the purse, or of the purse, to limit what the federal government, what the FBI, the Justice Department are doing to the American people," end quote. You know, what's amazing is that a conservative like Jordan has to actually plead with his colleagues. Shouldn't they be motivated to protect their constituents without any prodding?
Oh, absolutely, because this isn't just about one man or one campaign or one election. Clearly, it's been multiple. It's about the most powerful political movement in history, and they're targeting anyone associated with it. The abuses at the top, the warrantless searches and seizures. They're imprisoning people who showed up to a peaceful protest who didn't do anything wrong. They're trumping up charges. They're perverting justice. This must end, and it only ends by getting real accountability. We have to get President Trump in the White House. He called for defunding the FBI and DOJ months ago. That's the only thing that they're going to respond to. And it's time for the rest of the Republicans to take President Trump's lead and get tough before it's too late and we lose our country.
Yep, we either end the corruption or they're going to end us. It's as plain as that, plain and simple as that. George Papadopoulos and Liz Harrington, guys, thank you very much for the visit.